Oh, welcome, everybody. That was extremely quick that's been caught by the bot. The bot's actually functioning on all cylinders for once. Just putting in the Discord chats right now that we're live. Hello to the people joining this stream. Yeah, we're doing round 5. This is the first of the rounds that we are technically in 2025 for. Yeah, I still know that I am effectively 3 weeks back. But that will change today. That will change today. We will, well, come into the later stages of January at the very least. I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm doing 2 or 3, but we're at least doing 2 today. Or be at least round 6 coming out of today, and then the aim is that commentary will be done entirely for this season by the end of Tuesday in Tier 4. That is the aim. So besides something popping up on Tuesday, we should be through the entire season. Yeah. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Can everyone hear my mic well? I'm just going to do a mic check real quick. Oh, we get started before we go any further. Alright. Yep, test 1, 2, 3, of course. That sounds pretty good. Just wait for a couple more minutes, see if we can get a couple more people in. Oh, yeah, we'll see if we can get a couple more people in, and then we'll do the sprint here for Kyoto. And the feature should be done by about 2:30, this one. After this one, might take a bit of a break, going back about 3 o'clock and do I forgot what the 6 Monza was round 6. So we'll do at least 2 today, and then that'll be done by 4:30. The real question at that point is when about is my food going to be ready, whether or not I'm going to be able to do a third. We'll wait and see. But that's how we're going to play today. We'll play today by ear as we go along. But there's definitely enough time for 2. Also got to think of esports comms later on as well for those who want to join us for that final round of esports later on today, where we will see one of Project Platypus, one of Arix or Falcon, Crown Champion. But yeah, everything's going to be a big day of commentary today, I think. It'll be a big day of commentary. Alright, we have been going for about 5 minutes. That's usually how long we let it go. So we'll go and start running through the group now here in how they lined up at the end of qualifying. So Dex is in first on pole position, currently on the medium tyres. Zab on the mediums as well in second. Sosa, Polty in third. Fourth is Rossi on the softs as well. Leary in fifth. Aurak in sixth. It looked like Aurak's got an updated livery today. You know, JMS in seventh, Forza running a Japanese livery on the medium tyres, and you got Aurak and you got Jin in eighth, sorry, on the softs. Monty in ninth on the medium, same for Cloud in terms of tyres. In 10th, Zelda in 11th on mediums as well. Zimmer on softs in 12th, Reveler in 13th on the mediums. Fracas, who simply has not got going this season, is in 14th on the medium tyres, and Mo in 15th, and JP at the back of the grid. In a different colour of green, normal colours we've seen so far this season. But yeah, with that being said, let's go through and see if we can get through 10 laps of Kyoto here in Tier 4. Let's get it going. Let's get it up and started. 4, 5 red lights. It's lights out, away we go toward the start in there. Well, toward the first corner, it looks like Dab has got off to a far better start. He has. He hits the front. Same with Rossi, who's going to go side by side with him into the first turning on the track here. We go round. Zab dropped down the third. So Rossi hits the lead of the race. Dexter in second. Then you got Zab in third. Polly in fourth. Trying to go down the inside of this, down the S's here at the end of sector 1. My voice almost gave up on me straight away. Not a good sign. JMS is in 6 now. Oh, Rossi's round. Rossi is round. Oh, that's not a good start. I'm not entirely sure how he's lost that there, actually. Maybe a little bit of bounce up on the curb. Unfortunate going for him. Mo's actually had a good start. He's up in the 9th already, down into 10th now. Oh, that looks like Money's off the track, and Money's off the track now. Onto the grass. Behind, down into 15th. Him and Rossi are the two that fell off the track to start with. Got a little bit of a fight for 10th as we go back through the grid. See which way this is going to end up. Clyde has got the inside line. Zimmer is going to get by, though, on the exit of the chicane. And that's pretty decent running there by Zimmer at the back of the grid here. You know, O'Leary in 9th, a bad start for him. Mo up in the 8th now. You got Jin in 6th, JMS in 5th, he's got a couple of places. Aurak in 4th, got a couple of places himself. Then you've got Dex in 2nd, Polty in 3rd. Dex is looking to try and recover that pole position start, but the Porsche obviously not good off the line. This is just headlights are us. Here at the start here at Kyoto. Zab in the lead, so it looks like the Mazdas might be able to actually start doing something here in Tier 4. Been a couple of down races for him. Here comes O'Leary and Zimmer. O'Leary is kind of being squeezed to the outside right now. A little bit of grass. He's still on the track though, maybe going a little bit deep, a little bit on the outside here against Zimmer. And Zimmer's going to be in a beneficial spot here. He's going to be able to hold that position. Yeah, O'Leary just went far too wide to try and make a switchback attempt or try to make a lunge around the outside. He's got to do better than that. As a whole, Mo is flying. We've got Zelda in 7th right now. It looks like a rainbow livery on that Corvette. For I'm not entirely sure the design choice there. But yeah, Zelda holds up in 7th, and then we've got a little bit of a split forming here between the front 6 and the rest of the pack, and that front 6 is tailed by Jin at the moment. Nice little bit, maybe a little bit 8-bit on the livery there. Oh, JMS slided the car. He might have actually got past Aurak in the process. We'll see. They were too wide for a split second there, but now they're going into the chicane. JMS has gone far too shallow there, I think. That's Mo in the background having a bit of a mare. We'll go back and have a look at that. At it without the camera angle of the... Oh, it was. Yeah, he just snapped the car. He saved it, though. That's fairly impressive to manage to save that from that position. He should have been in the wall. go around now on the inside. Mo should have this one with the inside line. Again, snaps the car. Just about getting away with all this. But that Beetle's got a nice acceleration to it. That Zimmer has, for some reason, decided to try and cut O'Leary off. Not entirely sure that's the smartest move. Not exactly clean racing. That's the definition of squeezing somebody out. Oh, Zimmer's off the track! Zimmer is off the track! I think he might be about to lose out to O'Leary here, who's giving him far too much space. But they've got by. O'Leary getting by up in the ninth now. Zimmer's got JP, who's actually had a good start himself, up from 16th to 11th. See if JP can get himself into the top 10 now. He's got Zimmer just in front of him in order to do that. Zimmer's just come off the track, so his tyres will be a little bit dirty. We'll head towards the front of the pack in a minute. Here comes JP, look to the inside for a split second. Gonna get the door shut on him pretty well there by Zimmer. And, well, that's going to be that pretty much for that position. Clyde's got 1.5 behind. That'll drop him behind Revel at the very least. A little bit further forward now. Zelda's caught up, well, trying to catch up to the front pack. Jin's also starting to lose a little bit of touch with the lead in chase right now. We'll wait and see how that's going to unfold in the next couple of laps. We go down in toward turn 1 and lap 4, almost halfway in this race now. 10 laps of the sprint, and then I think it's like something like 25 laps of the feature. If I remember right, Paulie's off the track now! Paulie's off the track, gets a little bit of dirty tyres, hasn't lost a position, which is well played. He might do now though. He might do now. He definitely will now. That's a nice little shift to the outside from Orak, just to take account of the speed that between him and Polte, and gets all the way to the outside and gets the move. The Estonian up into the podium now, doing a really good job of it in this race. So you got Dex, the Dutch driver, in second, and Zab, the Ukrainian, in the lead. Zab has been relatively untouched in this race so far. That Mazda has done a very, very good run in terms of this race. Outside of this race, I don't think I could agree with that statement, but in this particular race, he's been pretty much on his own the entire time. Just seeing when it comes into this race, it was Polte 114 and then 74. It's a 40-point gap at the front. Polte's still in 4th right now. So we'll see what is if that gap is going to come down at all. The Mazda's at this point in time currently 4th in the Constructors' Championship, off by about 60-something points. So they've really got to get something going here, because it's not been a good season for Zab and Fracas, and it still isn't being a good race here for Fracas either. So you've got Dex, who's getting closer to Zab now, and then you've got Orak in 3rd, Polte in 4th, trying to recover from his mistake on the prior lap. And then you've got JMS in 5th, Jin in 6th, and then Zelda's just tailed off now quite considerably, so it is the top 6 for the lead, and then that's about it. Everyone else is just in their own little world at this point in time. Then we got O'Leary in 8th, Mo in 9th, Zimmer in 10th, Revel in 11th, Fracas in 12th, JP has dropped to 13th, Monty's in 14th with a half-second penalty, sorry, Clyde's in 15th, and Rossi's in 16th, which has not gone too well for him at this point in time. Fracas needs to get into the top 10 to add points to Zab's race lead at this point in time. Yeah, that Constructor's back in it just a little bit. There is a penalty out in front. There's a second penalty here in the front of this pack, should I say. There's a second penalty for Mo. The front 6 are still relatively close to each other. We might actually have a little bit of a fight going on. And there is a little bit of a fight going on between Polte and Orak. These two going back and forth. Obviously, Polte had the position earlier on in the race because and then lost it due to a mistake. Now it's Orak's bottom step of the podium for now, and Polte not able to stop that from happening into the beginning of lap 6. Alright, going a little bit deep. Alright, going very deep. But still holds on against Polty, who didn't have the greatest of turn 1s. It looked like Zelda's had a bit of a mare against O'Leary here as well. The McLaren's looking dead set on trying to win this Constructors' Championship as early as possible. Fracker's also up in a 10th now. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. But Fracker's up in a 10th, adds a point, gets a reverse grid pole if he ends in this manner. I think Zab would take that, given that there's more points to the list for that team that desperately needs it. A Porsche as well, 103, 62 points behind the lead. So it's 68 for Mazda, 62 for Porsche, and then it's 25 between BMW and McLaren. McLaren obviously fourth and 7th right now, where the BMWs are 3rd and 6th, so a little bit of a gain in both respects there for the BMW boys. I think it'll be like 3 points total though. Still, nothing really happening toward the front in terms of an overtake. The front two have managed to separate themselves though. Here comes Dex! Look to the inside for a split second there. And doesn't get it. Doesn't get it at all. So, in the championship itself, Zab currently in 6th. Dex is considerably off the back of that, I think. Let's have a look. Dex is 12th. So, 1st and 2nd in this race, not really playing a part in the championship fight at all, but they're looking to get the constructors back into some sort of range that they can potentially attack the BMWs or attack the McLarens as well. I'll wait and see if there's going to be anything that comes from it. You've got BMW in 3rd, then you've got JMS who's now in 4th. Polty dropping down just a little bit with Jin behind him now. So Polty gave up another position, and this time the JMS. The Audi started to put stuff together. He won in Interlagos, remember, from this time last week that we did the comms for that race. And in round 3 of the season, Polty seemingly getting himself a little bit of a grip now to get himself away from Jin, who's currently still in 6th, not really done an awful lot to progress his position either. So still at the front, nothing has changed. So we head into lap 8 now. We head into lap 8, it's Zab from Dex, who's got a massive gap to Orak in 3rd, who's got JMS looking to his inside now. Doesn't get it. JMS is flying up the grid, potentially looking for another podium to add to his collection. I think he would take that pretty nicely. He's already got 2. Looking for a 3rd. Might be going for 1 now, and nope, he's just looking to the inside, not really getting it there on Oracle Polty. He's there behind him. Then you got Jin, and then O'Leary, the other McLaren, the second McLaren is starting to just peer into the picture here. Zelda's dropped off the back now. His medium tyres are starting to fall off of the edge of that cliff. Fracas is now in 9th. And then you got Zimmer in 10th, so that's an extra point for the Porsche as well. And it's not too bad in terms of a constructors fight here. We got JP in 11th, Monty in 12th, Mo in 13th, Clyde in 14th, Rebel in 15th, and Rossi has quit. We'll see if anything is going to change at the front here, because something has changed at the front. Oh, this is a mistake. Oh, that's not good news for JMS. It just loses the car here. Yep, off into the grass. It could not save it. Polty just about gets out the way. That could have been disastrous for the McLaren. He might be opened up for a little bit now for the BMW, who goes onto the grass for some reason on the inside there and wastes his opportunity. But yeah, JMS down in the 7th now, down in the 8th actually. Delta's gone up a place. Fracas is the next car up. JMS has damage. Should bring Fracas close to him. That damage seemingly gone away from the Audi now, but those tyres are going to be a little bit worse for wear. And further behind, and you got Monty and JP. JP still winning that battle for now. So JMS down into 8th. Looked for a podium, just didn't get it. But that does mean that the top 6 drivers now are all part of the top 14 of the Constructors' Championship, which is going to be fairly interesting. But it does mean that not an awful lot will change in that championship right now. We know the drivers is 40 points in favour of Polty. Amy is next, and Orak after that. They're both on, well, Amy's on 74 and Orak's on 70. Same with Jin, actually. On that note, so realistically, they may be gaining a point. Also, what happened to Zap? I was going to go back. Oh, Zap dropped it. Zap dropped it in turn 1. Oh, that's what happened. He dropped it, and he's dropped behind Dex, who takes the lead of the race. And I think Orak's going after him as well. Orak to the inside. On the dirty tyres. Well, against the dirty tyres of Zab. And gets it. Orak didn't do too much favours for himself either on the outside of the beginning of the second sector there. The end of the second sector, shall we say. Oh, Zab dropped the lead. He'd been untouched the entire night. And then dropped it in one corner and might be fighting his way to stay on the podium now. Well, this is going to go down as the missed opportunity for the Mazdas here, I think. Dexter is in cruise control now when he's got 1 lap to go. This is, quite frankly, as long as he keeps this safe, this should be the Porsche's race here. This should be fairly straightforward. He's got enough of a gap on Orak. It would take one hell of a drop here for that to change. Orak's tires are falling off a cliff as well because he went on the softs. The mediums around him should be able to take advantage on this lap. Zap being one of them. Could he go for a switch back to the inside here? It doesn't look like he's got enough speed. Orak is still going to be fairly decent for the rest of the lap. I don't know how close those tires are going to get to red, if they are going to go red. We'll wait and see. It doesn't look like there's going to be an awful lot of anything here. Dex is gone. He is gone. Here comes Zab to try and take second place back. Isn't going to get it here. He's going to have to do something relatively soon because Orak's tires are falling off a cliff. He's got a prime position here. Should be able to take this second place back. If he's going to go for it, now might be the chance. Doesn't go for it here. Orak is doing a good job of defending, to be fair. Not allowing any easy overtaking opportunities. It doesn't look like there's going to be any overtaking opportunities here for the rest of the lap. No one really dropped it on the outside of the second to last. And round the final corner they go. And he's been hunted by Zab. But Dexter don't care. Is he going to drive over the line here to win his first Tier 4 race and win the sprint to Kyoto in the Porsche? Alright, gets second, Zab first, Polty fourth. Zab third, sorry, Polty fourth, Jin fifth, O'Leary in sixth, JMS gets seventh. Able to recover a single position, Zelda eighth, Fracas ninth, JP and Clyde. Oh, we've got to go back and watch this. JP, who is in control here. We got to go back a couple of corners. Him and Monty were going at it side by side here. Monty just about surviving there, and he goes for a little bit of a switchback. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. JP just lost the foot in. Monty should have reverse grid pole of the result. I'm not entirely sure what Monty's doing. Is Monty okay? Is Monty okay? What did I just watch? I am so confused. Okay, so we'll go back another 10 seconds to figure out what on earth is... I just need a replay. There's so much happening here. Clyde and Zimmer are coming at it 12 and 13, who are just arriving on the scene to this carnage. Monty has gone off the track for some reason. JP's lost his car again. Nearly tank slapped Clyde off the map, and then Clyde loses the car as well, and Zimmer's trying to come on through. And somehow, I think JP's going to hang on to reverse grid pole in all of this. He has. I don't know how to describe the end of that race, the back of the grid here, but it was one of the finishes of all time. Had a couple of people quit out. I'm not entirely sure who the second one was. I think it was Mo and Rossi, the two that quit out there. Okay, so JP is somehow on reverse grid pole, even after spinning, and then almost spinning another 2 times after that. And Clyde dropped the car. Zimmer almost came through. Monty decided that he didn't like tarmac. I'm just so confused at what the hell was going on at the back there. Oh, that was one of the things of all time. One of the endings of all time, I think. Alright, let's go and put this. Let's see what everyone's chosen here. I can imagine there'll be a few 2-stop attempts and then a few 1-stop attempts as well here in this race. So wait and see. So JP's on the mediums at the front. I can almost guarantee that the JP will go for that 2-stop strategy. Fracas in second on the hards. Hards for Zelda as well. You know, JMS on the mediums, O'Leary on the mediums for Jin, and for Paul E. Hards for Zab at the back of the top 10. Same for Orak as well, and mediums for the Porsche that won the sprint race here. We've got Zimmer in 11th on the hards. Hards for Clyde, Monty, Revelet, Mo, and for Rossi as well. Okay, with that being said, we've got 26 laps of Kyoto to go through here. So it wasn't 25 as I had said earlier on. 26. So we'll see a variation in strategy here, I think, as we go to start the feature race here in Kyoto for round 5 in tier 4. And we'll go through the standings and then take a little break as we get going here. JP leads us away as we head towards turn 1. You got Fracas and Zelda after that. Zelda obviously getting quick off the line because a rolling start and a Corvette, but he might have gone a bit too deep off the first corner, way too deep off the first corner. He's given up a place to JMS already. Now, I would assume JMS is probably the favourite to win from this position in this feature race. Yeah, Zelda already up, already down in position to JMS. JMS might be going after Fracas right now. Round the outside. Is it possible that we get something to happen here? A couple of people went far too deep in the background of the shot, which will allow Jin through. Jin gets a nice little double. We'll replay that in a minute once we see what happens with JMS and Fracas, as JMS has gone through, but they're still side by side. And JMS gets the position. We'll go through and very quickly get a nice little look at what happened between Jin and company here, because I wanted to point this out, because this is a nice little double Zelda too far to the outside. O'Leary too far to the outside as well. And look at that, Jin holding it to the inside as much as he could get that move done. Polte's in 7th. Zab's off the track. Zab trying to hold it. Cannot hold it. That 360s, I guess, technically did hold it, but he's now at the back. Car control of max right now for Zab. Dex is still in 10th, wide right behind him. Zema is now in 9th. Going a little bit further forward, you got O'Leary and Polte. It's McLaren on McLaren right now as they try to extend their lead at the top of the championship. In both championships, actually. Polte leading by 40 at the start of round 5. And then these guys lead it by 25 at the start of the night as well in terms of the constructors. So they're just got to get something going here. Jin a couple of places ahead, so the BMWs overall probably have closed in ever so slightly. Zelda and Polte are going at it now. They continue to watch these lot, and there's 3 at the back that are just starting to tail up. We'll go and figure out who they are in a minute. I'm actually going to go forward a little bit because Fracas and Jin! Jin too deep! Jin's too deep! Way too deep! And Fracas, oh, what the? What was that? That looked like the car kicked out. I'm not entirely sure what Fracas was doing here. He got the switchback perfectly. Jin just went far too deep. Unnecessarily deep, if anything. Oh, yeah, he just got too much on the curb without hooking it. Oh, and he did. He wiped Jin off the face of the earth. Oh, and then he slowed down on track and caused a massive pileup behind him. Fracas is having the time of his life right now. If Fracas slows down, and that causes 3 cars behind him. Oh, O'Leary's off the track. They somehow all made it through. They somehow all made that all the way through. That is impressive. Dex is up into 8th now. He got past Zimmer and he got past Jin as well. He's up in a 7th, trying to fight it for a double win on the night. The Porsche is pretty good here. It would be a pretty impressive feat. Fracas and Zimmer going at it as well with Jin in front of them, and then you've got 3 there as well behind, which is Rossi, Clyde and Monty. Zab is now in 14th, quite tailed off. Rebel after that, and Mo in 60th. Nothing happened there between any of the cars. Jin has managed to get himself back up towards Dex. That might have been a lot of tyre screeching there. We'll get a better view of this. Don't know if there was a slide or a contact or anything of the sort, but he got right up beside Aurak immediately. Aurak too deep. Aurak's too... Oh! Oh, that explains it. I think Jin tagged them both. I think Jin managed to tag... Well, Jin tagged Dex and tagged Aurak in the process, so Jin got a double. And one of them was his own teammate. You don't want to be doing that too often. That's a certain... That will come back to bite you at some point. That's a lot of headlight. Trying not to blind everyone, I think, at the moment. But yeah, Dex has got close to Aurak, and then Jin just absolutely clatters them. They continue on into lap 3. Aurak still ahead of Dex, and then there's Jin behind that. They're going to have to pick it up though, because both the McLarens are already by. So anything they gained in the first race is about to disappear pretty much immediately as it stands. O'Leary in 5th there, Zelda in 4th, then you got Polte in 3rd, and JMS and JP are fighting for the lead of this race. Polte got through really quickly, so it's going to be Polte and JMS potentially for the win at this rate, unless JP is going to pull something out the bag here. He has been doing pretty well for 3 laps. The issue is, I don't know if he's got the pace realistically to hold up for 26. It would be a rather impressive win. Quite honestly, would be a very impressive win here for JP if he gets it. The front 3 just starting to build a little bit of a gap. And you've got the cars behind. You've got Zelda and O'Leary just starting actually potentially to join back onto this group. And you've got Aurak, Dexter, and we can't see shit. Dex there on the inside, potentially going after Aurak now, who snaps the car on the exit. The Porsche's not got a better straight line speed than that BMW, that's a certain, but maybe around the outside of turn 1. If they can late brake a little bit better and keep the car intact. I think he may have gone too deep. He's trying, he's keeping it. He's still there. It's still brilliant from Dex there. Around the outside, it looked like he went too deep, but Aurak had no answer. What a move. Jin helping out his teammate now, trying to get Aurak back towards Dex here. Dex obviously had the better tyres, he's on the mediums right now, same with Jin on the inside, so both of those go past Aurak, who kind of just let his teammate by. Then we got O'Leary and Zelda. O'Leary to the inside of Zelda now. O'Leary going for 4th place, gets it, gets past Zelda up in a 4th, and the McLarens are in control right now of what, well, potentially the entire race from here. Here comes JMS to try and get the lead of the race. That looked clean. Let's have another look at that. A little bit of contact up the hill. They're still coming together. JP is trying to force him all the way to the inside. Gives him just about enough room, and JMS gets it done. That's a nice little move. Another nifty move to the inside of a hairpin here at Kyoto. And JMS now hits the lead of the race now. If JMS can keep it on the track, which he cannot, and he gifted it straight back to JP immediately, and now he's got deep, and he not only just gifted it back to JP, but goes as well to Pulte, who takes 2nd place. Pulte underneath in the final corner, and now Pulte is in the greatest position to win this. Here it goes, potentially around the outside. Potentially trying to hang it. Nope, he's not going to get it. JP's going to hang on, as he's hung on for the last 5 laps. The last 4 laps and some change now. Didn't even get to finish my sentence with JMS, who I was about to say if he could get past JP, he could potentially drive away. Pulte has a golden opportunity. JMS to the inside, a little bit of contact, but he has said that. Look at this. Taking it to the inside. Pulte gets cut off a little bit by JP. Couldn't really go very many places. And there you go. JMS to the inside just takes full advantage of that. That's a good move. JMS having another, well, a couple of great moves in this last half a lap. There's still a Pulte and O'Leary 3rd and 4th. They're still very much in control of both the championships at the moment. Jin in 5th, Dex in 6th. Jin is back on track here. He's still got fights for the lead. JP now going to the inside of JMS, with Pulte looking for a double. Pulte might get it. No, he gets neither. He could have had 2. He doesn't get any. It could have been huge. It's go big or go home, and it's going home right now for Pulte, especially in that big corner there. Got his teammate, almost cut his teammate off there. We continue on, and the top 4 have built a solid gap now. That did not sound too good. Dex has dropped behind Aurak, so the 2 BMWs are starting to make their way back through. The hard tyres are starting to get back into gear. Probably the better tyre right now. Aurak is flying. He gets past his teammate now as well. And he looks, he's got Zelda in his sights. He's got an opportunity because Zelda went far too wide in turn 1. Won't have the same speed. But it turned out Zelda's just a little bit too far in front in the first sector here. Aurak up in a 6th again. But we've got 2 sets of 4 fighting. Dex has got round against Jin. Dex has got worse tyres than Jin at the moment, but that's Dex up into 7th. BMWs are fighting. It's a bit too much right now to make it any sort of a contest. Front 4 right beside each other still. JMS has actually hit the lead of the race again. JMS has hit the lead of the race yet again here in Tier 4 in this feature race. We'll see if he can hold it this time. Quite frankly, he's got a chance now. If he can get himself on the, keep himself on the track, if he can keep himself a little bit of a gap, then he could potentially get held up here by JP, and that'll allow JMS to start driving away. So JMS has got to take advantage of this while he can. And McLaren is no slouch. There we go. JP has for some reason defended far too far into the inside there. He gets away with it. Should have just taken the corner normally. The McLaren was nowhere near in a position to try and make an overtake. But it has done exactly what we thought it would and given JP a little bit of a gap. This time it's we're giving JMS a little bit of a gap. This time JP got... He's too narrow again. He's just too narrow again, and this time he's come into contact with the McLaren and holds second that way. Gets a nice little flash for good measure. I get JP's defending, and I get he likes the inside line, but he's too far to the inside. He has got to open the corners up. It allows for more speed, it allows to carry more speed, and it makes your time defending significantly easier. Again, he's just too far to the inside. What? Why? Why is this the defending tactic? I mean, it's kind of working, but he's having to cut off the McLaren every time and avoid contact. I mean, I can't fault it effectiveness, I guess. But in the grand scheme of things, he's costing himself here. Paulie has gone far too deep. I guess it's... At one point he had to fall... There was always going to be a mistake forced one way or another, and it's the McLaren that came up with the mistake. JP holds on to second for a little while longer. JP now cuts off the inside. Paulie again! Just horribly wrong. Everything about that was just so wrong. Everything about that was so wrong. You didn't need to go to the inside. JP's lines are not consistent enough with holding that position for long enough. You go around the outside. Kyoto, especially turn one, is one of those corners where the outside move is potentially even favoured with the exit speed. If you can get it right, the outside is definitely a good place to be. We've seen it a couple of times in this race already, where if you can get to the outside, you're in a potentially favoured spot turn one. JP again too shallow. And it's just, well, JMS is gone. JMS has definitely been helped here by a considerable margin. This is the position. You could tell that was always going to happen. The case of when, not if, and I don't know why Paulie defended that time. I don't think JP was close enough to realistically make anything stick. He'd already made the move. He could have done that and not lost the time. And JMS is gone. Yeah, JMS is just off up the road. JP did him a huge favour. Now JP's going against O'Leary. You got Aurak, and then Zab is here for some reason. I'm not entirely sure how Zab's got here. Zab was 14th. Was it here last time I checked? He's now up into 7th. He's about to take 6th. Is he going to be able to get to the inside? Yes, but for some reason doesn't take the opportunity. Just scrubbed all of his speed off into turn one there. I'm not entirely sure why. Should have just kept it to the inside. Aurak had already committed to the outside. He could have had that. Well, there's incidents happening up front. JP and O'Leary. A little bit further forward now to see what happened here. Thinking maybe JP again too shallow. Oof. Also a little bit of contact between O'Leary. Oh, yep, that'll do it. And again, JP just so shallow in the corner. He's just compromising his own line and defending far too aggressively. And he absolutely does not need to. I can promise you, JP would open some of these corners up. He would be gone by now. especially towards, he would still be up beside Polty, no doubt. Just got to fix that line. They just got to fix these lines. It's not a good line at all in the slightest. Oh, this time O'Leary kind of just came off the fall a little bit. I guess he was too scared of hitting JP on the exit of the corner. JP's now coming back to the inside again. I don't know how necessary that was. Alright, it's actually Jin round the outside. Jin to the lead. Well, not to the lead, sorry, but 4th place. And gets past O'Leary, who's too occupied with JP in front of him. And JMS's pit. So he's the first one to have pit on this race. Off of the medium tyre. It did not look like his tyres were that bad. The JP, well, Polty is now the car with a massive gap. It's a huge gap now between him and the front west of the grid here. And Jin looking the inside against JP, who's gone deep again. JP again just squeezing Jin once, twice. You're not allowed to. Jin trying to give him good as he gets, I guess. He'll take that and be 6 in one, half a dozen in the other then. And JP holds on. Jin looking the inside of the corner again. Cut across again by JP. And JP's gone deep this time, and this should open up the door. Nope, if anything, Jin just closed that door on himself. He just slammed that door straight in his face because he just hit the back of JP on the exit. Could have gone a little bit wider then, would have had a glorious opportunity into this corner for a move, but JP isn't going to care. He's still in net, well, in P2 for now on track. He'll be net P3 overall. Orak in 4th, then you got Dex in 5th, Zab in 6th, who's been overtaken by the Porsche. That didn't look good for O'Leary. O'Leary drops down, Rossi goes by. You got Fracas in 9th, Zimmer in 10th, then you got Clyde in 11th, JMS in a little bit of traffic now in 12th, which is always the issue you could have entered into on the 2-stop strategy. Now JP's coming to the pits. Hards went on the car for JMS here. In comes Jin as well. JMS is still comfortably ahead. It's also Fracas and Zelda coming in off the hard tyres. Jin is out behind Monty and considerably behind JMS. Continue to head toward the front. Orak's got a little bit of gap on Dex at the moment. Polty is gone. Polty, honestly, potentially it's about half a pit stop of a gap already just to Orak. The pit stop here at Kyoto is relatively short. I think it's about 17 seconds or something of that nature. I'm not, maybe a little bit longer. So Polty's got a very good gap already, and the gap to JMS is also just increasing as we go along. JMS now in 8th after all the pit stops. Fracas in 12th, JP in 13th as he went all the way medium tyres and a full tank. Started on the mediums, went on to another set of mediums. Polty is now in the pits. 2 stops for basically everyone, I think, unless this is going to be a long 1 stop. Potentially. Here comes Dex. So Orak, Rossi, Zab stay out. Zimmer might be staying out as well. By the looks of things, Zimmer is staying out, but Polty's out ahead of him. Polty is out ahead of him, and therefore out ahead of JMS as well. Polty's on a set of soft. 7, he's going to try 7 on the soft. If he did, he's going to win this race. Hards for JMS and soft for Polty. Well, this could go very clearly the opposite direction of what JMS is wanting. We'll see what strategy is coming to play here. Zimmer's coming to close off on JMS and does so really nicely in the beginning of the second sector there. Zimmer again, defending. Not too shallow, does enough to hold JMS at bay, and JMS is just going a bit wonky through that chicane there. Got to get himself well, in a better position than that. That looked like it was far too deep, but I guess he's going for corner exit speed rather than corner entrance speed. But Jin going against Revelit there. 4/7 gets it. Doesn't look like there's going to be too long before Revelit comes into the pits here. Hungarian not doing too well at the moment in Tier 4. Brackus, another one of those, realistically should be doing better, but hasn't really got going in this tier. He's still ahead of O'Leary, JP, Dexter, and Clyde, Delda, Monteagle came in the pits on the left lap by the looks of things. We got pits now for Zab and for Revelit as well. Jin is right behind JMS. Jin's on softs as well. This might be a go. This might be go for one stop versus go for a two stop here. I'm not entirely sure what the plan is. JMS came in very early. Actually, never mind. He's not even put enough fuel in. He's going for two stop as well. JMS did come in early, so we'll wait and see how that unfolds. Holt is comfortably ahead now. It is relatively interesting because he didn't put any fuel in, much fuel in, if any at all. You can see by the bottom left of your screen there, he's less than a quarter tank already on this soft tyre. Which begs the question as to what he's doing now. He's not getting 7 laps out of that tank. I don't care how much your fuel saves. Got a fight from Morak and Rossi for the lead of the race though. Here comes Rossi to the outside. We'll just hit the halfway point of this race. Rossi looking to go around the outside of turn 1. Orak beautifully late breaks that one and gets the position back. That's a nice little defending move there from Orak. Rossi is lagging a little bit. Not entirely sure what's happening here. The Estonian doing a very good job defending at this point in time. Polti's right up on the back of these two though. This should be made to be very, very quick work. Well, I would imagine it would be. This shouldn't be too long, too difficult either for Polti. He's going to go. This should be late break to the inside here in the chicane to get this move. Gets it. Gets it. Moves in on Rossi. The tyre advantage is heavily in Polti's favour right now. On his 4th lap from the pits. I think, 3rd lap from the pits, sorry. I believe. Yeah, it'll be his 3rd lap from the pits. Still going. He's still got a chance here on Orak. Here comes Polti to the inside. Can he do it? Yes, he can, and he takes the lead of the race, both on track and in net position back. Pretty quickly on lap 14 of the race here. Orak into the pits. Rossi into the pits. It looks like it's going to be one stops for both of those. JMS seeing in the distance that Polti is quite the way off. Bearing in mind, this isn't a one-stop race for JMS either, so that is the gap. Polti is in cruise control of this race right now. The real question is if Polti even sees another person for the rest of this run. JMS and Jin directly behind each other now. Jin is going after JMS, but Jin will be coming into the pits relatively shortly, I can only imagine. That would then be for another medium stint. He's going to try and get to 16. I don't know if that fuel tank will get him there. JMS again just a bit wide on the exit of the chicane. It's It's a bit wild, some of the lines we're seeing today. I don't think Polty will care. He's just going to extend any advantage he had. That 40-point gap in the championship is going to get a little bit larger now. You got Zimmer in 4th right now. Then it's Zab after that. Fracas and you got Zab and Fracas 5th and 6th. The Mazda boys starting to put things together now. O'Leary in 7th, Dexter in 8th, Aurak in 9th. It's going to be a one-stop run, I think, here for Aurak. And potentially for Rossi as well. Jin is now into the pits, yet as expected, there's going to be another medium tyre that goes on the back of his, on the tyres on his car. And JP is now at the back of the grid. Clyde in 11th, Rebel in 10th, Zimmer's in the pits as well now, off the hard tyres. On to mediums. So one stop potentially for Zimmer as well. Novak and the Mazda boys will want the race stopped now. A couple of drivers have already made their second stops. Still got Polty and JMS to do the same. I can only imagine that gap is probably somewhere around about 5 or 6 seconds. Might actually be longer than that. We're looking, it was 32 when they came around here. It's about a 9, just shy of a 10-second gap between Polty and JMS right now. It is absolutely devastating right now what Polty is doing on this track for the rest of the grid. He already has a 40-point advantage in the drivers' championship. This is just electric right now. He's got to lap 16, and he's pitted off the soft tyres. I assume, yep, JMS is going to continue on. Polty's into the pits. JMS comes round. JMS is now going through for his going through onto lap 17. Polty is in the pits. Will anyone else jump him in the pits? It looks like Dab will. Polty is just about to come out the pits now. He's going to come out behind his teammate. Is he going to come out behind Dex? No, he isn't. So, Polty is in 5th and in clean air. Oh, this is going to go well, isn't it? Put it in perspective, that was his closest rival, Aurak. When they went into pits, Aurak is on the one stop, for example. Him and JMS are probably relatively similar in terms of track position right now. And he's not close. Probably about another 5 or 6 seconds that split them. O'Leary and Fracas are not that far away from each other now as well. JMS currently has the lead on track. He is significantly ahead of both the Mazdas. You'll have to put a lot less fuel in when it comes to the second stop. So wait and see how that unfolds. So you can imagine it bringing him a little bit closer, but 10 seconds is going to be a hell of a gap to try and close down. I don't really think it's a doable gap to close, to be honest with you. Not when Polty's in this kind of form as he has in this season. Looking for promotion to Tier 3. There you go, JMS into the pits now. So we'll get to see how realistically how close he is to Polty. The answer is going to be not very. Or is it? I don't know if he's going to... It's got to be less than the 10 seconds prior. Come on the exit here, 2:17. The gap's now about 6 seconds. The gap is now about 6 seconds between JMS and Polty. A lot closer than what we saw it was last time. I still think that is a rather insurmountable gap. But he had also come out ahead of Aurak and almost pretty much guaranteed. I almost guessed that they'd be almost identical track position at the end of this run. JMS has now made his second stop. Don't know if Dex is going to the end. Looks like potentially all of these might be, apart from Fracas and Zap. Fracas and Zap don't have enough to go to the end on this, so they would potentially just be on their stops next lap or two, depending on whether or not they're going on softs or not. Either way, they should still be a decent position here for both the Mazdas. Here comes O'Leary to the outside to try and make a move on Fracas. Fracas covered the door, slammed it shut as well for good measure. A good move by Fracas before he pits, and well, that just has position O'Leary anyway. Just cuts off a little bit of time that he may have gained on Zap. Polty is still in cruise control, and I don't really see that changing. JMS is just starting to clear alright, just a little bit. Fracas now putting fuel in. I can probably guess that it's probably a podium. Not a podium, sorry, a top 10 finish potentially incoming here for Fracas. Going on another medium tyres. I don't know what the gaps are, what the strategies are at the back here. Reveille and JP are fighting. What could have been a really good race for JP. He just focused too much on defending, and instead of, well, he almost lost his car there on the exit turn one. He might have lost it there. No, he saved it again. He lost the position of Reveille this time, but that's a good save from JP there. The car control pretty high up. So the question now is who is on a one stop with about 7 laps to go. Zab's definitely not. His tyres are gone. He's got to pit at the end of this lap, surely. Yeah, I was about to say, you've not got to put as much fuel in, and you get onto a new set of medium tyres. You can keep going for a little bit, and you can just flat out for the rest of the time. O'Leary now takes the lead of the race for about a split second until his teammate goes right behind him. It shouldn't be too difficult. Clyde's into the pits as well. McLarens are working in unison right now, and you can tell why they're at the top of the championship on both championships. And Polty not going after that. Teammate choosing not. Polty choosing not to go after his teammate. Might slow him down a little bit here. It won't give him enough. It won't slow him down enough for JMS to be involved. But Polty is going to get slowed down by his teammate. I don't know. I don't think O'Leary's got enough tyres in there. I think he goes onto a soft at the end here. I don't think he's got the tyres. He goes around the outside, goes Polty, and JMS, not JMS, O'Leary just doesn't bite it. That's probably a good way of scheming the overtake from those two drivers there, working in unison again. McLaren not really putting anything into risk right now. I can only assume that there's a pit stop in the near future here for O'Leary. Go on the soft tyres, run out to the end. It's not this lap. If he is, it's not this lap. You are not getting 6 more laps out of those tyres. Never in a million years. I give it to lap 23 before they're dead. You know, Dex as well. Right, so Dex in third. He's on a potential one stop as well. Those tyres are going to look very iffy at the end as well. JMS! Oh, they've come together! They've come together! JMS is down the wall! Oh! That is not good. JMS went far too deep here, by the way, in turn 1. Got a nice little exit, and Dex was not expecting it. Yeah, he came across and cut off the door. You don't get away with that. Yeah, that's on Dex. JMS was more than well enough alongside by this point. Orax is going to take the scraps. Orax not going to complain. Just take the scraps and move on. Any chance we had of a fight for the leader just died. With that mistake, Dex, yeah, just was doing things so well up until that point. and has just been caught sleeping. He just got caught sleeping, and that's what caused the collision there. It's a shame. Looked it was going to be a good battle as well. Alright, should be the next one up against Dex then. Those tyres look significantly worse for wear. The same goes for O'Leary. There's no way you're going to the end on these. Surely not. Yeah, and there you go. That's what we expected to happen. O'Leary into the pits. Dex is staying out. Dex is not committing to the two-stop. I don't think his Porsche tyres are going to last. I don't see how they last. O'Leary coming out into 5th. It's a good run here. Here comes JMS trying to fight his way back in. Almost lost the car again. At the same corner. Allowed Torak to hold on. These two are both coming up to Dex right now. I think it would be a mistake for Dex to try and hold out on those tyres. Those tyres are going to fall off the cliff very quickly. O'Leary, Rossi in 6th right now. Decent recovery drive for him after what happened in the sprint. I don't know if he's going to be able to get O'Leary here. No, he's not. O'Leary's going to be able to drive away because he's on softs and on a decent tank as well. Dex has just been overtaken. We're going to go back and have a look at that. Dex has just been overtaken. We're going to get it from JMS's point of view. To the inside goes Orak. I never really stood a chance. That Dex too deep. No tyres and everything is going to go against him now. Surely you just cut your losses as JMS goes by as well if they're 2nd and 3rd now. Oh, JMS is off the track again! JMS is off the track again, and it's just... Albeit he had the incident with Dexter not that long ago, he's just dropping the ball too many times now. JMS here in this race. He'll get a podium, but he'll be close if he keeps dropping the ball. We've got a McLaren right on the back of him, with a lot of pace and a fresher tyre. So you've got to be careful now. Any more mistakes will put him right in the line of fire. Back a little bit right now. Jin down in 8th right now. Dex moves up past Fracas into 9th. Who's round? Fracas is facing the wrong way on the track. He was 10th. Clyde's going by. Clyde being a little bit too courteous potentially there, trying to get around Fracas, and does get by up into 10th. Yeah, Fracas is struggling now. Got damage on his left hand side. Clyde's just going to drive away. So we may have another top 10 finish for Clyde in this tier. There we go, continuing on. Still got free fight here. Three-way fight here. Rossi up him to 5th. He's kind of just in his no man's land at the moment. Then you've got O'Leary, who's right up with 3 laps and some change to go. Now 3 laps to the dot. Has got a very good chance at 2nd. Both of these guys are going to have worse off tyres. JMS is already halfway down, so is Zorak. So this is going to be an opportunity if he's ever going to get one here, O'Leary. They're going to go too wide here. I'm not entirely sure I'd gone here. I would have waited till the following hairpin. Because there you go, the line's compromised already. I think O'Leary may have gone a little bit too overzealous to try and make the move there. could potentially late break this Audi. He's gonna try it. He's gonna go around the outside. That would have been audacious. It doesn't get it. That would have been that would have been highlight worthy material if he had stuck that. Alright, going deep again. We've got Rossi's headlights, flashing in the background there. Just starting to come in the picture. His tyres are starting to fall off the edge of a cliff, so he won't be too much of a factor for too much longer. JMS again having a bad corner. Quite frankly, if O'Leary can make the move on JMS, he'll get second. That time, that door is closing rapidly at the moment though. He's running out of time. We're on to lap 25. There is 2 to go. Arak has a little bit of a gap now. O'Leary's got to pull something out the hat here. He should be going now. That gap's opened up. He could have got on the throttle. He should get past JMS here. JMS is all over the place. Does get past JMS. And JMS's podium's just fallen out of sight. Maybe even the top 4 may have fallen out of sight here. O'Leary's got a chance at Arak. A 1-2 here would all but do it. In terms of anyone getting a real chance of getting that championship fight back. He's got 1.5 laps to do it. Arak's tyres are going to fall off the edge of the cliff. He's going to get really close here. His tyres have started to dwindle as well. With 1.5 laps to go. Pulte is gone. Pulte has won this race by a country mile unless he had the worst 26th lap in history. Arak again, just slow out the corners. His tyres are not better for him now. O'Leary's getting close. You can tell the gap is shrinking. The gap is going well under a second now. And again, O'Leary just getting a nice tight corner. No mistakes, and he is right on the back of that BMW now. There is a chance of a 1-2. The door is open again on the final lap. Arak's just got to try and do this without mistakes. O'Leary's the one that's got to push the issue. O'Leary's now got to be the one that forces the mistake for the 1-2. He's got better tyres. He's got enough to get to the end of the race without question. The real question is whether or not Arak has enough tyres to hang on. There is a potential 1-2 in the making here. Pulte's already down by the chicane. There's someone round. There's someone round. Not entirely sure who it is. Oh, it's Rossi in the Honda. Oh, he's gone round and JMS will take 4th back. And I think Rossi has just dropped all the way out, potentially, of the top 8, sorry. Top half of the race has just disappeared for him. Zab's in 5th. He'll take that after the start of his race. Pulte's coming toward the end already. Arak is now heavily under fire from Pulte's teammate O'Leary. We'll get to see the conclusion of this in a minute, because Pulte has pulled the blinders, medium, soft, and nobody has come near him. The championship leader in the beginning of the day by 40 points. It will be more than that now, and he'll be a bigger constructor as well as Pulte wins the feature in Kyoto quite handsomely. Never in doubt after the second of those pit stops. Arak will hold on for dear life, get second. O'Leary will have to settle for the bottom step of the podium. JMS will just about hang on for 4th. Zab will get 5th. Jin will get 6th. Dex will get 7th. Well, it could have been a better day for him. Zimmer will get 8th. 7th, 8th for the Porsches. Could have been worse, could have been better. Fracas will get 9th. And what will be a better day from the Mazdas than it will be for the Porsches, I think. Overall, Clyde should close out this top 10. Yeah, Clyde is going to close out this top 10. Nice top 10 finish for him. Monty is the next one in line. Rossi is all the way down in 12th now. Monty ends in 11th. Oh, Rossi's off the grass again. He's got no tyre whatsoever. Onto the grass again. No rear tyre on that car. Reveille is just going to take advantage and pip him on the line. Reveille gets 12, Rossi 13, and Zelda will end up in last. Wow. Well, Pulte won that rather handsomely in the end. The gap is now 43. 147 and 104 coming out of Kyoto. The gap is now stands at actually an entire race advantage. 43 is the max you can score in any one round. So unless a miracle happens here, you could see that the title may be wrapped up by the time we head to Croatia in week 7. Well, by the time we exit Croatia in week 7, rather. As in terms of the gaps in the constructors, 223 on for the McLaren to 194 for the BMW. That gap now stands at 29 points. Then open up again for the McLaren boys. They will take that as a whole. Then you've got the Porsche and the Mazdas are fighting for third and fourth, but they're dead and buried in terms of the fight for the championship now. So, 2-horse race for the title. Well, 1.5. It's just a case of when, I think, for Pulte and the drivers. And then a two-way battle for the constructors for the final 3 races of the season here. Monza is next up. And with that being said, I'm going to take about maybe 15-minute break here. Get myself a drink, go and do a couple other things, and then come back and we'll do Monza. And that will be at the end of week 6, and then we'll have what happened on Monday night to commentate on. But for now, in a bit.